Welcome back to the channel, Crypto Trend Trader, with a quick update on the markets. Before we get started, I'd like to remind you it's not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. These markets are extremely volatile, so please do your own research and trade responsibly. Let's play Told You So. Once a week we take a look at an old video. It's not financial advice. I'm not your advisor. No, I just want you to see the TA is fucking awesome. Alright, so we're going to take a look at our video from May 26th, 2020 on the Dow Jones. Welcome back to the channel, Crypto Trend Trader, with a quick market update. Before we get started, I'd like to remind you this is not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. These markets are extremely volatile, so please do your own research and trade responsibly. Let's play Told You So. Once a week we take a look at an old video. It's not financial advice. I'm not your advisor. No, I just wanted to see the TA is fucking awesome. Alright, so today we're going to take a look at our video from April 5th, and we're actually taking a look at the Dow Jones in this video. So the Dow as well. Then as far as the Dow on the weekly, basically the exact same thing. We bounced off of that key support. Okay, we bounced the support at the 0.5 and the support, got the move directly back up to the 382. So we bounced directly from the 0 past the 236 to the 382, and the 382 corresponded perfectly with the channel that we have been moving in, and we had initially got like basically the slingshot move, like the throw over here. We stab up to a new high and then immediately sell back off, come back out of the channel, blow out of it, and then we're gonna come back up and see if we can switch that, or see if that's gonna flip over from support to resistance, which, you know, based on the move back down immediately to the 236, we got a 2 fib level move up and then 1 back down. So what I would expect is it's like Told You So Inception going on right now. As soon as we got that retest, boom, boom, up, check. Or even if we could break back into here and get back up to the 618, 25,268. Now it is possible right now. That's 25,268. The angle of the channel, one of these other fibs, of course. I mean, I think it's very likely that we could push back up here and still get as high as like the 786, coming in at like 27,000. That's it. That's where we're at right now. We'll see. 27,111 in that video. That looks a little more realistic. So we haven't quite made it up to that yet, but yeah, I mean, again, it's not that big of a deal. You know, the semantics and stuff like that are not that important. It's about like seeing the actual moves coming and everything. And as you can see here on the weekly, you know, obviously TJD TDMACD absolutely crushed this move, because you don't have to buy the absolute bottom here. You just buy into the strength. You know what I mean? So you're essentially like getting into the strength. And same here. You know, you're getting into the strength. So now you're getting the buy now on the weekly time frame. You know, that's going to give you like essentially like moves that last for years for even, you know, retesting the highs, you know, which is more likely at this point in time, I think, based on like technicals and like the, you know, the volume and everything of the move so far. But, you know, it's not a good bet necessarily to bet against the Federal Reserve and you know, those that are powerful, because they are going to do whatever they can to remain in power as long as they can. So what's the most likely thing that's going to happen right now? What's the most likely thing that's going to happen right now? If I had to straight up tell you what I thought was going to happen from here, we're going to max out at some point in time, you know, in the near future here, and then we're going to get that sell-off back down over here. You know, if the bearish scenario plays out, obviously. And if it's the opposite scenario, we're just going to get that same move, but we're just going to get it to the top. So, I mean, all I'm saying is we're at the middle now, and based on probability and likelihood and what's been happening, like, the most likely thing that's going to happen is we're going to retest the top and see if that's the resistance or if we're going to new higher prices. But then from that, what's the most likely thing to happen after that? I don't even have to tell you, because you already know. I don't have to tell you because you already know. Oh, so much stuff to grab. Look, we're either going to come back down and retest there, or come back up and retest there. I mean, that's my honest to God, if I was just going to lay it out based on, you know, straight up what's most likely to happen. Not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. These markets are extremely volatile, so please do your own research and trade responsibly. But it looks very high probability that one of those two things is going to happen. And right now the momentum is to the upside in a very long-term uptrend after a massive sell-off. So any one of these potential fib areas could be a reversal for sure. But, you know, you're betting against a very, very powerful trend. I mean, that's a very clear uptrend. So yeah, I mean, at this point in time, we basically got that exact move up from the center of the channel to the 786, and that's where we're hitting resistance at.
Now, is this potential area that we could top out? Yeah, I think it's very likely on the weekly that this could be the top, but it's also very likely on the weekly that we could continue back up and retest the bottom of that channel. But the most important thing right now is, horizontals have more strength than diagonals do. So, because they're less subjective. Because you could draw this diagonal a lot of different ways and move it around just a little bit here and a little bit there. But the horizontals you can only draw like one way. I mean, you could potentially go from candle bodies instead of wicks, but that's really the only way you could change like these fib levels. So I think at this point in time, that move up to the 786 was very profitable. We basically nailed the bottom, all these different areas the whole entire way up. As a matter of fact, we were already expecting this on the way down. So if you look at from the move up down, we came all the way down to the 786 in green. So is it unrealistic now from that move down back up that we would reverse again at the 786 of orange now? No, I think it's very likely that that would be our reversal point, and then what happens from here, we can make up our mind as to what the trend is going to continue doing. Because right now we're just putting in a lower high. Now if we get the move up to the 886 at 28,300, that's great, and that would essentially be the last topping point before you're just double topping or putting in new highs. So essentially, like, we could get that move back up to the top of the channel and the 886 at like 28,200. But I think more likely than not, based on this move and risk reward and everything so far, I think especially on like indexes right now, I think this is a great place to be taking profit. And then, if you're bullish, you can rebuy at one of the different support levels. I think realistically, we're looking to come straight back down to the 618 and potentially like the 0.5, which lines up perfectly with the 382 and the 236. So my main target right now is going to be right back down to basically before this weekly candle right here, or down to like 24,000 in time. But at this point in time, I think coming down here to like 25 and a quarter, 25,250, or 24,000 basically is very, very high likelihood. And at that point in time, we can start paying attention to if we're remaining inside like this channel, and respecting this, or if the Fibonacci's are more dominant. But at this point in time, the fibs look very dominant to me, because we can see the direct correlation on all these blue fibs right here, but they're less relevant because there's only really like so many of them. As where when we look at the shorter time frame fibs, again we can see the direct interaction with the shorter time frame fibs, and then also how they correspond with each other, and they line up almost perfectly, so we can then get a better idea as to what to expect. So we'll see if there's a little bit more continuation, but I think honestly, most of the meat's off this bone. I think it's better off to de-risk at this point in time in just about all the markets, and kind of see where they hash out to. I'm not saying this is the absolute tippity top, but I think we're closer to the top than we are to the bottom, at least on like the shorter time frames. So crypto trend trader, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm out of here.